The Arthashastra, authored by Kautilya, also known as Chanakya, is a foundational text on statecraft, diplomacy and administration in ancient India. It's renowned for its practical and realistic approach to governance and foreign policy. The central theme of the Arthashastra is the welfare and material well-being of the people, with the king's happiness and benefit being inseparable from that of his subjects. Priyasuke sukan rajnih priyanan khit hitm, na temprin hitan raj priyanan tu prin hitm. Translation. In the happiness of his subjects lies the king's happiness. In their welfare his welfare. He shall not consider as good only that which pleases him, but treat as beneficial to him whatever pleases his subjects. This shloka encapsulates the core philosophy of Kautilya's Arthashastra, emphasizing that the king's actions must be aligned with the welfare and happiness of his people. Kautilya recognized the critical importance of foreign affairs from the earliest days of civilization. He argued that no state can remain isolated and that there are no permanent friends or enemies in international relations. The world is always either at war or preparing for war, and diplomacy is a key weapon in this ongoing struggle. The Arthashastra is a vast work comprising 6,000 slokas, 15 books, 150 chapters, and 180 sections. The first 5 books deal with internal administration, the next 8 with foreign diplomacy, and the last 2 are mixed in nature. Kautilya's analysis covers a wide range of topics related to statecraft, always with intelligence and practicality. A central concept in Kautilya's foreign policy is the Rajamandala theory, or the circle of states. According to this theory, the geopolitical reality is that your neighbor is your natural enemy and the neighbor's neighbor is your friend. The Rajamandala is a matrix of up to 12 types of states, and the Arthashastra prescribes the best ways of dealing with each. The Shadgunya Theory, or sixfold policy, is described in Book 7, Adhikaran number 7, of the Arthashastra. It provides a strategic framework for a king's attitude and actions toward neighboring states based on the prevailing circumstances. The 6 policies are: Sandhi, or peace treaty, is adopted when the king is weaker than his enemy. It may require surrendering troops, treasury, or territory, known as Dandapanta Sandhi, Kosapanta Sandhi, and Desaparita Sandhi, respectively. This policy is used to buy time and wait for the enemy to weaken, demonstrating practical opportunism. Kautilya advises fulfilling treaty conditions, strengthening oneself, and later, if possible, overthrowing the enemy. Next we have Vigraha, which translates to war or hostility. This strategy is adopted if the king is stronger than the enemy. It can be defensive, aimed at repelling attacks, or offensive, focused on seizing enemy territory. Kautilya, however, warns that war should only be pursued if it is more profitable than peace. Otherwise, Sandhi, or peace, is preferable. Moving on, we come to Asana, which means neutrality. This policy involves remaining inactive or waiting. It is used when one is neither planning to march nor attack, hoping that the enemy will weaken or face difficulties over time. Asana often accompanies Sandhi, but can also be combined with Vigraha through covert means like propaganda or dissension. Finally, we have Yana, which refers to a march or expedition. This strategy is employed when the king is much stronger than the enemy. It involves direct military action or joint expeditions with allies, where the benefits are shared. Sometimes Yana may even involve breaching a treaty if it becomes advantageous. Samsraya, or seeking shelter, involves seeking protection with another king or fortifying oneself. This strategy is recommended for a weak king who is threatened by a powerful enemy. The king seeks protection from another ruler or strengthens his own position, aiming to regain independence. If all else fails, vassalage may be necessary, but the king should remain vigilant for opportunities to regain power. Dvaidhibhava, or double policy, entails making peace, known as Sandhi, with one king while waging war, called Vigraha, with another simultaneously. This approach is useful when the king is equally matched with the enemy and needs additional support. The primary aim of the Shadgunya Theory is to grow stronger in the long-term competition with enemies, even if temporary compromises are needed. The expansion of one's power and state at the expense of natural enemies is the doctrine's motive. The supreme criterion in external affairs is the interest of one's own state. By using these policies wisely and with timing, the king or Vijagishu can manipulate the mandala, or circle of states, to his advantage, binding others through intellectual and strategic power. He who is losing strength in comparison with another shall make peace. He who is growing strong shall make war. He who thinks that neither can the enemy hurt him, nor he the enemy, shall observe neutrality. He who has an excess of advantage shall march. He who is wanting in strength shall seek protection. He who undertakes work requiring assistance shall adopt the dual policy. For resolving disputes and achieving objectives, Kautilya prescribes 4 methods known as Upayas. First, Sama, which means conciliation. Second, Dana, meaning gifts. Third, Beda, which stands for dissension. And finally, Danda, representing force. Sama and Dana are suggested for subjugating weak kings, while Beda and Danda are for overcoming strong kings. Gunas, or Shadgunya policies, are specific to foreign policy, while Upayas have broader applications. Yajnavalkya, another ancient authority, also supports the conquest, preservation and augmentation of territory, considering land more important than gold. He endorses the concepts of gunas and upayas for achieving these objectives. The Arthashastra's discourse on foreign policy and diplomatic practice is a profound and timeless classic of realism. Its objective treatment of possible foreign policy options and calculated diplomatic actions has sometimes been criticized as amoral, but it provided the foundation for the Mauryan Empire's success. Kautilya's insistence on science over religious precepts separated political thought from religious doctrine, leading to stable governance and influencing future rulers, including Ashoka. The Shadgunya theory of the Arthashastra is a comprehensive and pragmatic framework for foreign policy, balancing war and peace through calculated strategies. Its emphasis on state interest, adaptability, and strategic use of alliances and hostilities remains relevant in the study of international relations and political science.